Good evening, everybody. Jacob from Learn With Me here. And real quickly, I wanted to talk about a program that I put together for some clients and some friends of mine. And I'm not selling the program, I'm giving it out for free. And I just want to give a breakdown about essentially how I've been training in my primary goals and what's been working for me. Currently, since I've been running this program, I've gone up about 15 pounds in my bench, 10 pounds on my deadlift, 10 pounds on my squat, and I've maintained my body weight, which to me is significant since I'm increasing my numbers and I'm a relatively advanced lifter. I've been training for going on 14 years now, seriously, so for me to be getting these results with this program kind of tells you what you need to know about it, but I think it would be beneficial for anybody of any experience level, and we'll get into those specifics as we go on. So, moving on, the mode of operation, the modus of operandi is increase total strength and increase aerobic capacity. So specifically, the plan is to just focus on the total strength, more maintain aerobic capacity, a lot of focus on zone 2 cardio and some zone 5 cardio to really try to push that VO2 max. However, the primary focus is the strength aspect of it. If we can maintain the conditioning in cardio, then that is perfect. I believe that if you're going to live a healthy lifestyle and lift weights or exercise, you should lean more towards the health benefits of doing cardiovascular activity because it will increase your recovery capacity and in turn letting you recover, in turn letting you exercise more and harder. That way you're not slinking around, barely making it through your 2 sets and you're already gassed after 5 or 6 reps. So pretty simple and straightforward. Moving on. So program follows a upper lower split. Program type is undulating, meaning when intensity increases, for example, weight and effort, volume decreases, example, sets and reps, and vice versa. So it'll just swap out. 1 week, it's going to focus more on the intensity and it's going to lower the reps. So you can really focus on that total tonnage, which for me is very important for priming your nervous system for those heavy loads, and that way it's once weights start getting heavier, you can keep up. Your body's used to, let's say, squatting or deadlifting and benching these heavier weights, and it's not like your body's freaking out trying to figure out what's going on. First lift of every day is a primary movement. So examples being bench, your squat, your deadlift. Second lift is an accessory movement to the primary movement, which is just an accessory to the bench, squat, or deadlift. So we'd be talking pin press, deficit deadlift, pause squat, um, pause bench press, 3 count pause bench press, Romanian deadlifts, front squats. So it's very close to the same movement pattern as your first lift. Following movements is focused on weak points to increase main lift or bring up lagging body parts. So that's more specific for if you're really trying to build on those main movements. You're going to focus on something like a close grip bench press, or tricep push down to strengthen your lockout within your bench press. Probably you want to do HGH raises for your deadlift. to increase your lockout for your deadlift. Um, Total like leg drive power be your leg press. Or if it is for body parts, you can focus on your curls, lateral raises for your shoulders. Um, just simple. Um, Extra movements are up to the individual lifter to promote buy-in. So enjoyment, because if you don't enjoy what you're doing, then you're not going to stick to the program. So it's very important that you figure out what you want to do. You'll notice a row with every upper day, strengthening the rhomboids, rear delts, and lats will increase your pressing strength significantly. It will also speed run you to the V taper. I've noticed that really like building up that upper back has done wonders for not only my bench press, but my deadlift and squat as well. It'll help with your squat because it keeps you from caving in at the top, and your deadlift because it's also the same concept. You can actually keep your chest up and not cave in at the chest. And for your bench, the bigger your back, the more cushion you have to really initiate that press. And also the V taper is pretty fucking badass to have that as well. So moving on. Keys to success. Eat in a 300 calorie, 500 calorie surplus if bulking and focusing on gaining weight. 250 calorie deficit for cutting. If you're cutting, the cardio is not optional. Like, you have to do your cardio if you are trying to cut weight, because cardio isn't just going to help get you in that deficit to where maybe you don't even have to bring your calories that you already eat down below your maintenance, and you can just make that difference up in your cardio. Tracking reps and weight in your journal or a notepad or whatever way you can, just keeping up week to week, day to day, so you don't lose track of your numbers. And so if you go into your next workout the upcoming week, you're not going to be fumbling around trying to figure out what you have to do. Plenty of sleep, 7 to 8, 9 hours a night. Of course, getting that full recovery is going to improve your chances of gaining muscle. It's going to keep muscle breakdown from happening. It's also going to keep your cortisol in check. Proper warm up. I like to push in my cardio with that warm up, so it really helps to, if I have like my blood flowing and my heart rate's already up. Give time to do all required exercises, so that means you're resting. If you do this program right, you're going to have to rest between each set. You're not going to just run from one set to the next. If you're taking only like a 1 minute break and you can just go into the next set, then you're not training hard enough. And that leads into the final point, which is effort. You need to push yourself. You need to put the effort in to the program if you want to see results. Pretty simple and straightforward. Moving on. So these are just examples of undulating periodization, example of your rate of perceived exertion, because that's what we're going to be focusing on. We're going to be going off of the RPE scale, so it's very individual based. Example of zone cardio training. So undulating periodization example, as you can see here, this is kind of a shitty graph, but you'll get the gist of what I'm saying. So you'll see this blue bar represents the volume, okay? This red bar represents the intensity. Now, we're not going to be working at about 75% intensity. We're going to be going up more towards like that 90-95% intensity when we're going into our power weeks. And it just follows this curve, goes down, intensity goes down, whereas the volume goes up, and it just goes back and forth. Next slide is going to be your rate of perceived exertion. Again, kind of a crappy quality graph, but hopefully we can understand what it's said here. Rate of your RPE from 1 to 4, very light effort. 5 to 6 could do 4 to 6 more repetitions. 7, 3 more repetitions. 7.5 could do 2 more, possibly 3. 8 could do 2 more. 8.5 could do 1 more repetition, possibly 2 more. 9 could do 1 more. 9.5 could not do more repetitions, could do slightly more weight, and 10 could not do more repetitions. So the cool thing about the RPE is if you know your body very well, it is very applicable to any program. So if you see like 8.5 or 9 and you're feeling it like you're at a 9, but you do like 2 more reps, and you're like, okay, that's more of like a 8, 8.5. Maybe I need to increase my weight so I can really get to that like 9 mark or that 9.5 mark. And here we are with our zones for cardio. So zone 1, active recovery, you're looking at your heart rate at about 50 to 60%, zone 2 being 60 to 70%, and zone 5, which is what we're going to be going between 2 and 5. 5 being like your 90 to 100%. So you're like really pushing yourself here. Zone 2, you're going to focus on like that steady state where it's like really building that aerobic capacity. Pretty simple, straightforward. Moving on. So right here, we're going to talk about the weekly progression. In week 1, your rep ranges are going to be between 2 and 6. RPE is going to be 9 to 9.5. And how it's going to work is you're going to increase your reps until you hit 2 sets of 6. So you can hit those 2 sets of 6, then you're going to increase that weight by 10 pounds automatically for the following week. 2 sets, not including warm-ups. I like the 2 sets is like the perfect number for me. Anything above just seems like it's a waste of time. For me, if you want to do more than 2 sets, then by all means. But 2 sets is where I noticed is really good for like those natural gains. Weight is based off of an RPE scale. We already went over that. Accessory lifts are increased from 2 6 reps to 6 to 10 reps. So instead of sticking to this 2 to 6 reps form here, we're going to go up to 6 to 10 for our accessory movements, minus the main accessory movement. Week 2, reps range is going to be 8 to 12, RPE 8.5. Increase reps for both sets until you hit 2 sets of 12, then increase weight by 10 pounds for the following week. 2 sets, same thing, not including warm-up, same rep range for accessory lifts. So here we go, we get into week 1, which is your power week, aka move heavy weight. And if you look here, you're going to have your day 1, which is going to be your first upper day. What I do is I do the 20 minutes of zone 2 cardio. I'll do run, bike, or swim, or you can jump rope. You can do whatever as long as you can get into that zone 2 spot, which for me is like 130, 127 beats per minute. And then we'll move into our main movement after that cardio, where we're going to do our bench press. You're going to go into 3 warm-up sets, 2 warm-up sets of 15, last warm-up set to 10 reps, and then we're going to go into our working sets. So 2 sets, 2 to 6, and an RPE of 9. So really pushing that weight. Into that accessory movement, which is going to be 3 count pause bench. Same thing, 2 sets, 2 to 6 reps, RPE 9. Then we're going to go into our row for our upper body day, which is going to be seal row, 2 sets, 6 to 10, RPE 9 and 9.5. We can really push that seal row because like that 9.5, it's going to be a lot less risky than if we're doing a bench press. I just do, after I do the fucking 2 main movements, I'll move past the row and then I'm going to do pull, push, core. Okay? And then I'm going to, of course, when I do core, I do weighted sit-ups. So day 2 is going to be lower, but it just swaps. for the cardio. So it's gonna, instead of being your zone 2, which is like your 60 to 70%, you're gonna be zone 5, which is like 90 to 100. So you're really pushing the cardio this day, really trying to build that VO2 max capability. Main movement is gonna be deadlift. Same warm up principles apply. Same working sets. Going to be doing Romanian deadlifts for our accessory. And for our quads, we're going to do leg press, 2 sets, 6-10 reps. Then we'll do hamstring, line leg curls, 2 sets, 6-10 reps. And core, hang leg raise, 2 sets, x10 to 12. So I also do core every day of my weeks. I just feel like it's one of those things where it's like it kind of gets neglected and nobody really thinks about it. However, having a strong core will only make it better for you in the long run when it comes to building your main lifts. Day 3, upper. Instead of bench, we're going to be working with our overhead press. Then we'll go into the pin press for that accessory to the main movement. For our row, we got lat pull down. For our pull, we got dumbbell hammer curls, and for our push, we got weighted dips. Again, back to core, weighted sit-ups, same thing as the first day. Then lower, we're going to finish off with our back squat, following same warm-up protocol, same working sets, pause squat for our accessory, leg extensions for our quads, HGH raise for our hamstring, and weighted planks for our core. Pretty self-explanatory. You just follow this for week 1. Now we're going to look at week 2. Week 2 is your hypo, aka pumps week. So for your main movements, instead of working on that 2 to 6 rep range, we're going to be going up to 8 to 12 RPE 9. So it's a RPE 9 for those 8 to 12 reps. So if you get 8 reps, you could maybe get like 9 or 10 in total. Then you're going to follow the same pattern. Once you get those 2 sets of 12, you're going to increase your weight by 10 pounds, and then you're just going to go back to 8. You'll increase weight until you're barely getting those 8 reps. Larson press, one of my new favorite accessories for bench. Going to do low row, bicep curl, skull crushers, same thing. Core down here. Same day. Deadlift, deficit deadlift, leg press, lying leg curl. So it just follows the same pattern. There's some variations, however, it stays relatively the same. So day 3 is going to be upper, so it's going to be overhead press, same warm-up protocol, and then you'll do your accessory to the main movement, which is Bradford press. And for your row, you're going to be doing T-bar row. And so on and so forth. It's just following the same pattern. And how this works, you can just follow this however you want and just continue to follow it as long as you're tracking your numbers and you're tracking your weights and you're tracking your cardio and you're tracking your weight as well. So you can see if you're gaining weight, you're maintaining weight, you're losing weight. I can guarantee you this will work for you, and it's absolutely free. So after this has already been explained, we can go ahead and go to the last slide. Oh, not the last slide. Simply what I've just been saying, rinse and repeat. Program can be followed indefinitely and can fit into any goal. Cardio is not required. Accessories are not required. So if you're not worried about accessories, the bodybuilding side of things, or cardio, you can just focus on those main lifts and just really push them. The main goal is tracking weight week by week. It can be tracked with physical logbook or with notepad on phone or computer. Big emphasis, if weight is going up, you are getting stronger and gaining muscle. Tracking is key. So most people will just jump on a program and they're just not even going to worry about like the weights you're lifting. You're just going to go in and have a good time, just lift some weights with your boys or whatever. But this is how you make the difference and how you really like gain the muscle and gain the weight is by tracking and by ensuring you're getting stronger each time you go into the gym. So moving on to the last slide. This is just like a build up of like your accessories that you can choose from. So if you're weak off your chest, you're going to do pause bench, dumbbell bench. Really focus on that stretch with that dumbbell bench. Weak in the middle, you're going to be working on that pin press right around like maybe like 2-3 inches off your chest, so you can really get that middle range of motion. Block press, same thing. Larson press, getting that leg drive out of there, so it's just all chest. We get the top close grip bench press and floor press. Squat is going to be weak from the hole, pause squat, dead squat. Weak in the middle, pin squat, tempo squat, and chest caving. So, like, while we're doing all those rows, if your back's not strong enough, it's going to cave in forward. So, you can do front squat, SSB squat to really like boost up your squat. Deadlift, weak off the ground, pause deadlift, speed deadlift. Weak in the middle, Romanian deadlift, deficit deadlift, and weak lockout is rack pulls, block pulls, and SSB good mornings. So, like, this program is very simple. It's like originally I was going to call it the stupid simple program. However, I decided on cut the fat because a lot of this is very self-explanatory and should not require too much explaining. However, just to make it super, super, super simple, we're just going to keep it right in line with this. Um, but anyway, that is like my walkthrough through my program. If you are interested in grabbing a copy of it, just go ahead and comment down below and just hit my line, however you want to reach me. But yeah, this program is completely free for any of those that are interested. So make sure you're utilizing your knowledge, look some videos up, try to make sure you're getting those quality reps and your form is impeccable, and then the weight will come on. All right, guys, take care.